Morning San Antonio starts right now.
We're doing this now? I guess we are doing this now. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday. It is January 17th.
Thanks for joining us. So we hope you had a good start to your day, even though it's been super cold. But hey, we're at 23 degrees now. We're not in the teens anymore.
That's right. And good news, instead of 30s, it looks like we may be headed for 40s today, Mia?
Yes, it is definitely a welcomed change, I would say, over the past several days. So it was very, very cold this morning. Most of us in and around the San Antonio area actually starting off in the teens. But take a look at conditions outside with all of that sunshine. Yes, we're still below freezing, still in the teens and 20s here, especially in Bexar County, around 25 to 26 degrees at all of our reporting stations. 14 in Bulverde, still 13 in Comfort. Slightly warmer, though, down Highway 90, 23 in Castroville, and 24 in Hondo. Here's one of the big differences, though. Yes, very, very cold, hard freeze this morning, but it felt not as bad as what we saw yesterday morning because winds are a lot calmer, so not having to deal as much with that wind chill factor, and the breeze not going to be nearly as strong throughout the remainder of the day. Winds out of the south at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Plenty of sunshine, so take a look at your afternoon. 40 degrees by 1 o'clock, 46 by about 4 to 5. So we're starting that upward trend, well above freezing this afternoon. By the way, even warmer tomorrow, highs in the 60s. But we're not finished with this temperature roller coaster. More ups and downs in terms of those thermometers in store over the next couple of days. By the way, a front moves through tomorrow night, early Friday, so expect Friday to be pretty windy, 40 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts there. And then as we look ahead to late this weekend and even into next week, we've got some pretty decent rain chances that return to the forecast. So a whole lot to monitor still when it comes to our weather here in San Antonio. We're going to get you a full look at that. All the details coming up a little bit later on, guys.
Thank you, Mia. Still having problems out there with a water main break happening there at this shot at I-35 at Walsham. So this is actually closing the ramp at Interstate 35 and Loop 410, that interchange on the northeast side.
This has been going on since our early edition of GMSA. So the break is on 35 North Frontage Road at 410 interchange, causing delays earlier past Walsham. The entrance ramp to 35 North has been shut down while SAWS crews work to clear that water main break.
Ann Hayden, a spokesperson with SAWS, said it was a fire line for the San Antonio Men's Club and water was shut off. So Hayden said the business will need to fix that issue. All
right, so it's been going on for hours and we have no idea when this could clear up. The other big story this morning, besides the weather, was the closing of over 20 SAISD schools today so the district can make repairs to those campuses. We talked about it all morning during GMSA, and by now, you're probably aware if your child's school is closed today.
We are continuing to follow the latest news from that district, but so far there haven't been any other updates. So the district did say curbside meals for students will be available from noon to 1 p.m. So if your child does still need a meal today, they would have gotten at school, well, they can still get one.
Your child does not need to be with you when you pick up their meal. Just go to your child's school, give the staff member their name and grade, and then you can pick up their lunch.
If you want to see our previous coverage on this story, if you want to see the full list of all the campuses that are closed today within the SAISD, just go ahead and look for the story on our website at KSAT.com.
Now let's take a look at today's 9 at 9. Crime was up in San Antonio last year, but not across the board. The 2.1% year-over-year increase in overall crime was driven by a spike in car thefts. Meanwhile, the category that covers most violent crimes was down by 9.6%. That included homicides, which San Antonio police say plummeted from 231 in 2022 down to 165 in 2023.
President Biden is meeting with congressional leaders at the White House today to discuss a supplemental spending bill. The proposed legislation aims to send aid to Israel, Ukraine, Taiwan, and the U.S.'s border with Mexico. The sit-down comes one day after the Senate voted in favor of advancing a short-term funding extension. However, challenges remain, and the clock is ticking.
Former President Donald Trump launching new attacks against former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley with just 6 days to go before the all-important New Hampshire primary. And Thursday's GOP primary debate in New Hampshire was canceled after Haley pulled out, saying she'd only attend if Trump was also on the stage.
Trump is expected back in a New York courtroom today for writer E. Jean Carroll's defamation trial. She is expected to take the stand. The jury is deciding whether damages should be awarded for comments Trump made about Carroll's sexual assault allegations. He was already found liable for sexually abusing Carroll.
A bipartisan group of lawmakers want to enhance the child tax credit and restore many business tax breaks. But many consider the deal a long shot because it wasn't negotiated by congressional leadership and it has no clear path to a vote at the moment. It's also difficult to pass such measures during election years.
JetBlue's plans to buy Spirit Airlines in a $3.8 billion deal are being put on hold by a federal judge. In a new ruling, the judge agrees with the Justice Department, saying the takeover would cut competition too much. Both airlines say they're considering an appeal.
People are spending less on some things and expected to pull back a little more, but they're still keeping an eye on paying down debt and having a little fun. The median increase in monthly household spending slowed down to 5.01% in December. That's down from 5.5% in August. It's also the lowest reading since April 2021.
Baby boomers don't want to give up their large homes, and that's a problem for young families. A Redfin analysis shows 28% of houses with 3 bedrooms or more are owned by boomers, compared to 14% owned by millennials with children. Redfin says boomers are reluctant to sell because many own their own homes outright. They don't want to downsize, and they like living in a familiar neighborhood.
A whole lot of Burger King locations are suddenly in line for a spruce up. The company is buying its single largest franchisee, Carroll's Restaurant Group, which controls over 1,000 Burger King locations. The aim is to speed up remodeling and renovations in a project worth $500 million. And that's today's 9 at 9. 80 Morning Headlines, we have a few of the 911 calls from that hotel explosion up in Fort Worth. And the sounds of country music come crashing down in Oklahoma.
Plus, the brother of a famous football player, thanks to Taylor Swift, ready to retire. David Sears is here with all the morning headlines.
Now, the guy should be, outstanding on his own because he was a great football player, but he's known as the brother of the guy who's dating Taylor. Right.
Well, whatever works.
And we don't know what he's going to be known as now, maybe retired. We'll have that in just a second. But first, let's start with this. It's been a week since the Sandman Hotel in downtown Fort Worth blew up. A lot of it has been cleaned up, but investigators are still sifting through some of that rubble looking for more clues. We know there was panic from people inside and outside the 21-story building after the explosion from 911 calls. Some saw it, some in the middle of it. Here are a couple of those 911 calls.
Did it fall down? Did it come?
So it looks like the first floor, all of the windows are blown out. So I'm not sure if it came from inside the building, but there were parts that flew everywhere from outside of the building.
Do you see anybody injured there?
No, I don't.
How close are you to it?
Oh, wait, no, there is somebody injured. They're pulling somebody out. We're stuck in an elevator filled with smoke. It's on fire.
You said there's smoke in the...
Yes, in the elevator. Put your shirt over your nose to filter it, honey.
Now, according to the ABC station in Dallas, the elevator eventually opened and those people were able to get out. 21 people were injured in that blast. First responders were on the scene in a matter of minutes. The fire department is looking into a natural gas problem. The gas company says their equipment is not to blame. Once again, that investigation continues. You are looking at a 500-foot-long radio tower way up in the sky, and yeah, that was before this. And now, there it is laying on the ground. So it's no longer 500 foot tall, it's just 500 foot long because it's all crumpled up piece of metal. It wasn't wind or lightning. Mother Nature had nothing to do with it. Thieves did that. The tower belonged to a radio station in Choctaw County, Oklahoma. The owner of the media group that owns the local station and tower, Will Payne, says it was about $500,000 worth of tower that's laying on the ground. They wanted copper. That's what the thieves are after. About $100 worth. He's not happy.
Disbelief. We've had weather, we've had snow, we've had tornadoes, we've had lightning, but we've never had someone come in and actually cut a tower down before. You've robbed the community of a voice. You've robbed the community of a way to communicate very vital information, especially this time when it's so incredibly cold.
As of now, K95.5 is still off the air while they try to rebuild. By the way, they are a country station. All right, this one was a shock to some, to others, not so much. Looks like Philadelphia Eagles center Jason Kelce has decided that he is going to retire. He was emotional after the game. that they lost the other night. He reportedly told his teammates after that Eagles lost to Tampa Bay Buccaneers Monday night, ending their season in the first round of the playoffs, that he is 36 years old and has played for 13 seasons and maybe time to hang him up. Now, you may recognize the name Kelsey. His younger brother is Travis Kelsey, and he's the one dating Taylor Swift. The brothers also host a podcast together. Gained a lot of attention since Taylor came along.
It's been a whirlwind. It's been, we kind of started last year with the podcast and everything, and it's continually built up more and more from the Super Bowl and, my brother's love life.
My brother's love life. I like how you kind of little jab maybe to Travis. All that attention he's getting because of his love life. The Chiefs are still in it, by the way.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Travis and
Have you ever
Patrick Mahomes.
seen clips of the Kelsey Brothers podcast? It's pretty good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's pretty funny.
Yeah, because Jason's daughters sometimes come on and talk, say hi to Uncle Travie.
Uncle Travie.
Yeah.
That's
it's a pretty good
cute.
podcast. So.
Yeah.
So he's got that going for him
He does.
after retirement.
And I know this isn't the way Jason wanted to go out with Eagles being eliminated last weekend.
No.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. Life goes on. Thank you, David. Softy. 9:08, 25 degrees, coming up on GMSA at 9.
Well, Restaurant Week is happening now, and it's not just about eating a bunch of different foods. It's also helping our city grow.
If you are a foodie, Restaurant Weeks might be something you want to check out.
That's right, and it's going on right now through next Saturday, the 27th, and our producer, Haley Powers, spoke with the team in charge of the event who tells us how the event helps our city grow.
Restaurant Week is really born out of this amazing opportunity to uplift restaurants.
Culinaria has offered that special attention 12 years now, hosting 2 restaurant weeks a year. Dedicated to show San Antonio off as a premier food destination, the nonprofit partners with 100 local restaurants to put together 3-course prix-fixe meals for brunch, lunch, and dinner.
It is the perfect opportunity to go out and try new restaurants or some of your favorites and without breaking the bank.
President and CEO of Culinaria, Suzanne Toronto Etheridge, says they specifically host Restaurant Weeks in January as many people are coming off the holidays and aren't going out to eat as much.
We want to keep those local guys in business and, really thriving in our community. They're so important to us. They really contribute to the confluence of culture that's found and interwoven into San Antonio's food.
That food culture highlighted again in August for the second Restaurant Week. Organizers picked August when the oppressive heat is keeping people inside or summer breaks have people traveling before school.
I think the great thing about winter and summer is that it's completely different flavor profiles.
Restaurant Weeks began January 15th and will run until the 27th. The 3-course prix-fixe menus range from $25 to $55. No sign-up is required, but reservations to any of the restaurants participating are recommended. Haley Powers, KSAT 12 News.
Let's look out there with live cam. Yay, the sun is out and it's 26 degrees, no longer in the teens right now.
Do we throw confetti if it goes above 32?
I feel like we should.
How do we celebrate?
So we briefly got there yesterday, too. Right. I remember I walked outside, and honestly, just the sunshine yesterday, I feel like made so much of a difference compared to Monday. So, we had the cloud cover. It was really cold. Obviously, wind chills yesterday morning were just brutal. But after wind started to calm down and we saw that sun,
it was nice.
It was a whole lot better. And that's going to be the theme again today. And temperatures are going to respond by climbing well above freezing into the 40s. So yes, applause all around for the weather. Okay, I do want to get you a look at a couple of KSAT Connect photos we had come in this morning. A very, very cold start to the day. One of the reasons why, somewhat of clear skies in place. We did have a few high clouds out there, making for a really nice sunrise. This from our friend Skywatcher. Here's another view of that out east in Gonzales. Again, clearing skies in place right now. That's just going to help those temperatures warm up. But take a look at morning lows in and around the San Antonio area. We had an official morning low of 18 degrees here in town, 10 up in Bulverde, 18 in Castroville, 16 in Los Maples area, 16 as well off to our south in Pleasanton. So yes, a very, very cold start to the day with that hard freeze in place for pretty much all of us. But with that sunshine, we have warmed into the 20s for most of us. So still very, very cold when you step outside. 23 degrees right now, the current temperature in Helotes. It's 15 still in Comfort, 26 on the south side in Stinson, 25 over in Converse. So we're just going to hold on to that sunshine, though. By lunchtime, already warming above freezing, 37 degrees at noon, 46 degrees, the forecast high temperature here in the Alamo City. Winds out of the south, generally at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Turning even colder, though, if you're stepping out for any Wednesday evening plans. Low 40s expected by 7 p.m. and then upper 30s as early as 9. But taking a look at those forecast highs again in and around the San Antonio area, all of us expected to climb above 32 degrees. Really 40s expected. 48 in Floresville later on today, 46 in Seguin, 46 as well in Sabinal, 43 in Bandera, but still colder than average, of course, for this time of year. Now, as we head into the overnight hours tonight, just a light freeze, not necessarily a hard freeze in store. Most of us in the low 30s by 7 a.m., maybe a few upper 20s, especially up into the hill country, some of the higher elevations. Officially, we may just miss freezing here in San Antonio, but I do think plenty of backyard thermometers will be able to dip down to or just below 32. So something we will continue to monitor. Another cold start, but not nearly as cold as what we saw this morning and over the past couple of mornings. Into Friday, mid-30s, but another hard freeze is expected into Saturday, mid-20s before we start to warm things back up into next week. We see additional moisture work in, so that helps those overnight lows trend upwards, and that's also when we're going to be monitoring for some rain chances to return. But we have a front that's going to move in overnight Thursday and early Friday. That's what's going to send another batch of some of that colder air in for the start of the weekend. So let's time that out. You can see nothing going on here across south central Texas, but a different story, some energy coming across the Pacific Northwest, sparking some snow across portions of the Rockies, Salt Lake City, even Boise, closing in on the Denver area. No snow and no more icy precipitation for us, which is the good news, but the disturbance that is associated with that activity moving across the Central Plains by tomorrow morning. It continues to work its way closer to the Great Lakes region tomorrow night, dropping that next front into our region overnight Thursday and early Friday. Behind that, again, no rain expected with this front, but you're really going to notice the winds gusting upwards of 40 to even 45 miles per hour by wake up time on Friday. So before heading to bed tomorrow night, a good idea to make sure that those empty trash cans are brought in closer to the house. Also make sure that we are securing those loose lawn items, because Friday is going to be a pretty windy day, but you can see upper 40s. By the way, tomorrow we're in the 60s, so even warmer. Then that temperature roller coaster just continues, dropping back down into the 40s for those daytime highs, both Friday and into Saturday. So we'll be watching for that hard freeze again Saturday morning, then still 40s into Sunday. But we start to monitor some additional changes that work back in. Additional moisture surges into the area. Our next disturbance approaches the Lone Star State from the west. So decent rain chances in store as early as late Sunday, even more so into Monday and Tuesday of next week. We're going to go into a little bit more depth about that setup coming up in the next half hour, guys.
Deal.
Yeah, we look forward to that. We look forward to the rain.
Sweet.
Thanks, Mia.
9:19, 26 degrees.
We'll be right back.
9:22, as places that help those without home are packed with people escaping the cold, recovery teams are seeing an opportunity.
At Corazon Ministries Day Center, volunteers can now offer resources to a larger network of people.
Our Courtney Friedman spoke to one of those volunteers who said his sobriety started in that same room.
Day at a time. Jesus Perez spends almost every day connecting with unsheltered people at Corazon Ministries Day Center.
Born and raised in Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. I started doing drugs since the age of around 8 years old.
18? 8 years old.
8 years old.
Wow. During those 50 years of drug use, he spent time in federal prison.
I did so many years, was in gangs and all that, and now I'm doing the right thing. Finally.
His 1 year of sobriety began in this very room.
I used to be here as a client. I used to come and talk to my recovery coach.
Now he's a recovery coach, guiding others every day.
I like to volunteer a lot. Yeah, this place does a lot of good things for everybody.
The recovery volunteers huddled in a quick meeting as the day center swelled to 230 people, there to get food, clothes, and rest, presenting an opportunity for the team to help people who don't usually come in for resources.
If my stomach is rumbling and I haven't eaten and you're talking to me about being sober, I'm not going to hear you until I can be calm.
Day Center Director Brittany Ackerson knows.
Will you be here Monday so I can help you do ID recovery?
Yes.
Okay.
Because she's been in their shoes. She's now 10 years sober.
Being unsheltered before and having substance use, we kind of pull together as family.
She says her recovery team can get people into any service they need.
If they need detox, we can do treatment. If they want treatment, we can help them get health insurance.
Every current volunteer has used those services, and they say the main key to receiving help is trust.
I have a lot of people that I know, people that I've been out there with, and they trust me, and I can trust in them.
Using his own experience to help others gain the gifts of sobriety and a second chance. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Looking a little better out there with TransGuide at this shot at I-35 at Walsham. It's something that these drivers have been dealing with in this area since earlier this morning, but it looks a little better.
Yeah, the problem is, again, a SAWS water main break of some kind, northbound frontage at 410. You see folks are having to go off to the side there. This is a big construction zone anyway. It's always busy out there, pretty much 24/7, but we're going to keep an eye on this and hope that things will continue to ease up as people kind of dart off to the right to get away from that logjam that's been there now for hours. Well, now to the race for President of the United States. Former President Trump launching new attacks against former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley.
ABC's Lionel Moise explains what's next before the all-important New Hampshire primary.
This morning, debate canceled. Thursday's GOP primary debate in New Hampshire scrapped after Nikki Haley pulled out, saying she'd only attend if former President Trump was also on stage.
That's who I'm running against. There is nobody else I need to debate. I have had 5 strong debates and have done plenty of them. He can't hide forever.
Trump, fresh off his landslide win in Iowa, now focusing his attacks on Haley, who's been surging in the polls in New Hampshire. Trump last night hitting Haley on taxes and Social Security.
She's not tough enough. Nikki Haley supported a brutal 23% national sales tax, which is a disaster, by the way, why she did it. And that's why some people call her the Nikki New Tax. I don't think that's particularly good.
Haley's campaign slamming Trump, depicting him as a bully and a liar. Meanwhile, Ron DeSantis, after his second place finish in Iowa, touted his record on tax cuts while speaking in New Hampshire last night.
And I think what I represent is somebody that has delivered on those key conservative policies.
In the meantime, President Biden weighing in on the race.
I'm still the only person to ever beat Donald Trump, and I'm looking forward to do it again for the good of this country.
Today, Trump is expected back in a New York courtroom for his defamation trial involving writer E. Jean Carroll. She is expected to take the stand. The jury is deciding whether damages should be awarded for comments Trump made about Carroll's sexual assault allegations. He was already found liable for sexually abusing her. Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
9:26, 27 degrees. There's more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including continued coverage of the capital murder trial of Gilson Avila Rodriguez. We're going to check in on the trial as day 2 gets ready to begin, plus a look at what took place during the first day of testimony.
Plus, new allegations against former San Antonio Fire Chief Charles Hood. What the Firefighters Union is saying about the San Antonio Fire Department's culture.
Welcome back. It's 9:30. Beautiful out there with a live cam. I say that because I'm inside the studio looking out. The sun looks beautiful, but yes, a reminder if you haven't stepped outside yet, it is 27 degrees out there.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like it with all of that sunshine, but a very, very cold start to the day. But we will climb above freezing for pretty much the entire area later on this afternoon. So definitely good news. Maybe not such good news when it comes to the pollen count for this Wednesday. Mountain cedar has climbed up a bit compared to what we saw yesterday, and the moderate category at 340. Molds are present, but they are low at 290. All right, here's a look at your temperatures across the region. All of us still below freezing, minus Corpus Christi, the exception at just 33 degrees, 26 officially here in town, 27 in Cotulla, 28 over in Eagle Pass, 25 closer to the LaGrange area. Plenty of sunshine in store today. So that picture that we saw out there with live cam, that's going to be the scene into this afternoon. 40 degrees into the early afternoon around 1 o'clock, 46 by 4 p.m. Now, as we head into your Thursday, even warmer by about 20 degrees, 68 the forecast high tomorrow, so thawing out even more so after a little bit of patchy morning fog. But then there's that temperature roller coaster that we've been talking about. Another front moves in. No rain with this one, but it will kick up very gusty north winds on Friday. Cooler around 48, so similar to today on Friday. A hard freeze Saturday morning, still 40s into this weekend. But notice there on your Sunday, even more changes arrive, this time in the form of some decent rain chances. That carries over into early next week, so we're going to detail that setup and what we'll be monitoring here coming up a little bit later on, guys.
Yeah. Continuing today is the capital murder trial of Hilson Avila Rodriguez. He's accused of a double murder back in 2018. And we are live streaming the trial from beginning to end.
You can watch it live as soon as the proceedings begin. And yesterday, the prosecution laid out their case saying this was a cold-blooded double murder, and all the evidence led to Avila Rodriguez being the sole suspect.
Erica Hernandez following the case and takes us inside the courtroom with a look at what took place on the first day of the trial.
He went in there to burglarize them for what he suspected would be drugs and the proceeds of the sale of those drugs. He saw them both laying in bed, helpless, asleep. Bang, bang. Shot them both in the head with a 9mm firearm.
Prosecutor Raul Jordan gave a rundown to the jury about the murders of 23-year-old Nicholas Milanovich and 21-year-old Julia Wright, both allegedly killed by Hilson Avila Rodriguez on September 30th, 2018. Jordan said Avila Rodriguez lived at the same complex as the victims at the time with his girlfriend, and later found evidence linking him to the scene, including 9mm ammunition matching casings at the scene. Meanwhile, the defense asking the jury to listen closely to all the facts in the case.
We believe the evidence will show that these two folks were in the process of dealing drugs, and that someone who is also in that business wanted to silence them, wanted them to maybe shut down their operation.
The first responding officers to the scene, the first to take the stand, saying when they arrived, they found Wright outside in a pool of blood and Milanovich inside his apartment.
We saw lots of blood. Once we were actually on that level, we could see a male laying face up on the bed. He was on the right side of the bed, and I could see an injury to his face. It looked like he had been shot.
The last witness to take the stand was Avila Rodriguez's girlfriend, who said she wasn't aware he had a gun, but then recalled her having a conversation to remove the gun from their apartment. Many details she couldn't remember or wasn't very willing to talk about it. She did say she was still in contact with Avila Rodriguez and even talked to him recently.
Didn't talk about the case?
No, we try to keep it personal. I mean, he knows I still love him, but we just can't be together.
That was Erica Hernandez reporting, and right now you're looking live inside the courtroom where Erica is right now. We are waiting for testimony to pick up again.
Now, this is a non-death capital murder case, which means the death penalty is not an option. So if Avila Rodriguez is found guilty, he would automatically be sentenced to life without parole. Again, we are live streaming this trial, and you can watch it live on our website, KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, and our YouTube channel. Erica will have coverage of today's testimony in our later newscast.
Well, moving on, we touched on it briefly during the Night at 9 this morning, but we've gotten the recent crime stats for San Antonio last year. And while overall crime increased, not every kind of crime did.
Fortunately, homicides are one area that's down, but even still, they're higher than they have been in the recent past.
Garrett Berger dives into the 2023 crime statistics from San Antonio Police.
Between 2022 and 2023,
crime overall in San Antonio went up 2%, driven by one crime in particular. Car theft jumped by more than half, with more than 19,000 vehicles stolen in all. Various Kia and Hyundai models made up 4 out of every 10 cars boosted.
What's driving that was that TikTok video that came out instructing people on how to steal the Kia.
Police Chief William McManus says cars are stolen for a variety of reasons, often to be used in other crimes.
I can't tell you the number of times that we've gotten a plate number, have run it to find out that it's stolen.
To the chief, the good news is that violent crime is down compared to the year before.
Murders are down, certain assaults are down.
Homicides in particular plummeted from 231 down to 165, the department says. But how much is that really? The spike in 2022 was driven largely by a single mass casualty event in which 53 migrants being smuggled in a stifling hot trailer died. And though 2023's tally is much lower, historical data from the FBI shows it's still among the most deadly years since the mid-90s.
I've always said that homicides are, a lot of it has to do with risky behavior.
Of the known factors for last year's homicides, arguments topped the list, but family and intimate partners were second. But for many homicides, the cause was unknown. McManus says they could close more violent crimes if more witnesses would share what they know.
Trying to eliminate as much as we can the fear of talking with the police, of working with the police, of reporting to the police things that are happening in their neighborhoods. That's the challenge.
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
In other news, the Firefighters Union making new allegations against former San Antonio Fire Chief Charles Hood.
It comes just 2 weeks after Hood retired amid allegations of making vulgar comments.
The union's president tells our Patty Santos there are more concerns about Hood's administration.
Apathetic leadership. That's how Joe Jones describes former Fire Chief Charles Hood's time leading the San Antonio Fire Department.
I've been on the job for almost 26 years now, and this is the lowest I've ever seen morale.
Jones, the president of the San Antonio Professional Firefighters Association, says that led to what he calls a, quote, management mafia culture inside SAFD.
Targeting, bullying, retaliating against members for various reasons.
Jones claims it's been happening for years. Some complaints come from exit interviews of firefighters who no longer fear losing their pensions.
How many complaints did you get?
Numerous. Yes.
10, 6, 20?
It's going to be higher than that.
30?
Keep going. It's bad.
Jones says members feared speaking out against the administration because it would jeopardize their careers and reputation.
We have allegations from members that they have been surveilled, they have been followed. They place specific officers at their homes. It's surreal.
What are the bad actors trying to prevent?
Good question. I think they're trying to prevent outcry.
Accused of hazing cadets and threatening co-workers.
Jones has his own history with Hood. He was demoted from assistant fire chief in 2017 after being accused of intimidation and hazing cadets. Now, as the union's leader, Jones says he has met with city leadership and believes they're looking at changes. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Now, Patty did reach out to the city, and a spokesperson told us the city is not investigating the culture at SAFD and that its investigation into Hood is now closed.
Patty also asked about the so-called mafia management at the fire department, and the city just got back to Patty about 10 or 15 minutes ago, saying they take complaints seriously and complaints are investigated and appropriate action is taken. There are no additional investigations into the San Antonio Fire Department administration currently being conducted.
Patty also reached out to Hood about the allegations, but she still hasn't heard back from him. Right now, 9:40, 29 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
The Arctic blast is taking a deadly turn in other parts of the country. Well, after the break, we're going to take a look at some of those conditions.
It's been a chilly week at the San Antonio Zoo. Let's take you live right now out there at the crane exhibit. And I don't see anybody kind of hanging around out there, but they're out there.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. We have been dealing with some unusually cold temperatures these last couple of days, but it's nothing compared to the extreme weather in other parts of the country.
The Arctic conditions are taking a deadly toll, and multiple deaths are now being blamed on the weather. And parts of Tennessee have seen twice their annual snowfall average.
As ABC's Andrew Dimbert reports, the Northeast is also bracing for more snow later this week.
This morning, the record-setting Arctic blast gripping much of the country has turned deadly in the south. At least 6 people have now died in Tennessee as a result of the extreme conditions. 11 inches of snow falling in Knoxville, wind chills plunging to 15 below zero. In Alabama, ice-covered roads made driving nearly impossible. These cars left stranded after sliding off the road. This tractor-trailer outside Birmingham swerving in all directions before jackknifing into the guardrail. And this truck sliding down a driveway after it was put in park. In Chicago, where it felt like 30 below zero, fires were lit under these train tracks to keep them free of snow and ice. Tesla vehicles were lining up at this charging station in Chicago. Owners say they had trouble charging their batteries in the extreme cold. At least 10 electric cars were reportedly towed from this charging station. In the Rockies, new avalanche warnings in Colorado after a series of deadly snowslides in neighboring states. New video shows the moment Bob Tillotson was rescued from an avalanche in Utah. Rescuers digging through feet of snow, finally saving Tillotson after about 15 minutes. But it appears no one can match Buffalo for snowfall totals. Another 3 feet of lake-effect snow is expected by tomorrow night, on top of the 40 inches that forced the Bills game to be postponed over the weekend. Meanwhile, in the nation's capital, fun and games on the National Mall as people enjoyed a rare blast of winter.
It's a lot of fun. I've been waiting a long time.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Back here at home, we're getting closer to 30 degrees out there.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot better into this afternoon. And you know, we didn't thankfully have nearly as bad of impacts as some of the other parts of the country did earlier this week. But Monday morning was a bit interesting. We had some of that patchy ice, especially on those bridges and overpasses, did make for a dangerous drive out there. But roads really cleared up that afternoon. And yesterday, it was a whole lot better. Yes. Really smooth sailing across a lot of those area roadways. But talking about just how much of the country this Arctic blast has really affected, take a look at temperatures across the majority of the lower 48 right now. So 26 right now here in San Antonio. Check out Denver, though. How often is it that Denver is actually 10 degrees warmer than us? Not very often. They're sitting at 36, 13 in Boise, 26 in Casper, Wyoming. You take a look across portions of the mid-Atlantic, even up into New England, 19 in New York, 18 in Caribou, Maine, 9 degrees in Cleveland. Most of the eastern seaboard pretty dry right now, minus a little bit of lake effect snow happening over there in New York off of both Lake Erie as well as Ontario. You see across the Rockies, though, in the Pacific Northwest, some snow getting up and running, even a little bit of rain closer to the western coastline. We're pretty dry here in south central Texas over the next couple of days. We're just going to continue to see temperatures fluctuate a bit into the upcoming weekend, but it's later this weekend and even into early next week that we'll start to see some more decent rain chances arrive in our local forecast. So here are your weather headlines. Again, above freezing this afternoon for pretty much the entire area with all of that sunshine. Very welcome sight, but more ups and downs. Tomorrow we're in the 60s, so even warmer, but then our next front arrives and that's going to knock us back down to the 40s as we head into the upcoming weekend. By the way, behind that next front, winds are expected to pick up in a big way on Friday, 40 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts. You definitely will notice that as we get ready to wrap up the work week. And then here come those rain chances. Return late this weekend as early as Sunday afternoon. And they do continue daily into at least the first half of next week. So I want to talk about that particular setup. You can see there's that area of low pressure sparking that snow across the Rockies this Wednesday. That's going to continue to work eastward here over the next couple of days, driving that front into our region tomorrow night and early Friday. But then as we head into this weekend, our attention's going to turn to the west as this second disturbance digs down into the Four Corners region, approaches the Lone Star State, and with little pockets of upper level energy moving into Texas ahead of that system, that's what's going to help spark up those chances for rain. So we're going to call it about a 30 to maybe even 40% potential for the back half of the weekend, bumping that up to a 60% chance Monday. Some more scattered rain expected into Tuesday and potentially even into Wednesday of next week. Now, it is too early to talk about exact rainfall totals for us here in south central Texas, but I do think multi-inch totals, at least a couple of inches, are certainly certainly looking possible for parts of our region. That will help out with the current drought situation. Still do have extreme drought in place for the central portions of our region, encompassing Bexar County and surrounding areas. So we'll definitely see what we can find as we head into next week. But until then, no rain in sight here in South Central Texas. Plenty of sunshine. Temperatures cold, though, in the 20s. But with that sunshine hanging on into this afternoon, we will continue to warm things up and thaw things out. 37 at noon, 43 by 2 o'clock, 46 that forecast high, and then turning cold again later on this evening if you're stepping out for any Wednesday evening plans. We could reach 50 across portions of the Winter Garden off to our southwest. Eagle Pass, even Del Rio, Carrizo Springs, and Cotulla topping off near that 50-degree mark. Low 40s, though, across portions of the hill country. By the way, I do want to mention tomorrow morning, it is possible that we see a little bit of patchy fog develop, especially across the coastal plains off to our southeast. Maybe a few patches making their way into Bexar County and here in San Antonio, but then that's going to lift on out of here by mid to late morning. More sunshine tomorrow, upper 60s in store. Don't get used to it, though, because that next front, yes, it will bring in some colder air. Another hard freeze expected on Saturday. Not nearly as bad, though, as what we've been dealing with over the past couple days. Then we'll be monitoring those rain chances early next week, so at least have the umbrella handy by Sunday.
Overall, it looks good.
Yeah, looks a lot better than what we've been seeing.
We'll take it. Yes. Thank you, Mia.
9:50, 29 degrees.
Hey, do you remember that VHS or VHS tape? Well, younger people might be bringing them back. We're going to explain after the break.
Gosh, one of my first and most fun jobs was working at the Blockbuster Video on Walsham Road over by Windsor Park Mall. And it was great. And I remember back in the day, it was a big deal when a lot of people would come in and they not only rent a bunch of tapes, but they'd rent the VCR too.
Oh, yeah.
It was like in a plastic shell case with a handle.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, we had our own VCR. We would just go and get the tapes. But I was just asking Mark. I was like, I think you were supposed to, as a courtesy, rewind it after you watch it. But you were telling me a lot of people did not.
Oh yeah, we charge them a fee too. There was that old sticker, Be Kind, Rewind. So if you're lost, if all this is lost on you, back in the 80s, the video cassette recorder or VCR changed the way we all watch TV and movies.
So that's right. Now we've gone from VCRs to DVD players to just streaming right from our TVs. But ABC's Danny New tells us how the OG is making a comeback.
Quick, where are the Schwarzenegger films?
Foreign films are in the back.
Video stores. We may not see them as much these days, but the tapes stuck around.
VHS never left. There has always been people watching VHS tapes.
Josh Schaefer here runs Lunch Meat, a magazine and releasing label dedicated to the increasing number of folks who still love popping in a good old VHS.
Why do you think VHS is coming back but not DVDs?
I think VHS has a particular feel to it. I think that people like the physicality of it.
To generate the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity. 1.21 gigawatts!
Just a few summers ago, a copy of Back to the Future sold at auction for $75,000. And a copy of The Goonies was listed on eBay for $125,000.
And then it went national, and now it's in our area too, in a couple spots. Here's the one in Lafayette.
And as I reported last year, these free Blockbuster dispensers have been popping up all over the country, offering people a lending library to share nostalgia together.
There's a vibe. There's an aesthetic to it. It is important to preserve that look and to show it to new generations.
I can't wait to tell my kids how often I taped American Idol.
3 favorite movies, go.
The Apartment.
Sure, shows like Stranger Things have also turned up the nostalgia. And artists like Taylor Swift continue to dominate in vinyl sales. Before last Christmas, Luminate reported that more than 2 million vinyls were sold in 1 week. Clearly, folks have a hankering to own their favorite pieces of media again.
You never know when something's going to go off streaming. You own and can operate at your leisure.
Okay, kids, so once you have the tape, you need something called a VCR, and then you pop it in there unless there's a tape already in there, and then you can't put it in there because that's how it works. Nostalgia. In New York for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Thanks, Danny.
Bye.